Today we are installing this mirrored door in our guest room. We will begin with a quick trip to the hardware store.
Yeah, looks about right.
Mm-hmm. Wait, you should probably have this. So that it...
You're not gonna help me put it on there.
No, I'm gonna put it behind you so that it can lay down. Give me a minute while I maneuver this. Okay. Yeah, I probably should help. Outside the future. Yeah. That's tricky. Knowing she doesn't need it. Doesn't even know what it is.
I don't know what it is, but I want it. Alright, let's go.
Alright, so after we got this into the house, it was a little bit tricky getting it out of the car, but we managed to get it out, and now we're just going to go ahead and unbox this. This part was a little tricky, but all you have to do is snap in the two pieces together. You have to push really hard, but there are little grooves and notches that you push together, and that helps the pieces attach together. If you look really closely, you can kind of see the little white pieces. Yeah, these things are very difficult to get on. But I will show you this side, Jenna. Yeah. Goodness gracious. I mean, what is the people just gonna look at you putting, like, they don't really know what you're doing? Yes. Yeah. Also, it's like, do you want to be the camera person? Maybe. Because I feel like you're going to be like, Jasmine only sat there, I did all the work. I'm like, someone has to manage the camera. Maybe. But for this next one, we both need to do it. So, now all of them, and zoom in on this section. Like the little notches, because it's pushed in. Mm-hmm. Cool. At this point, Krista's arms was getting a little tired from holding this thing up, so we're going to take a break from holding it and drill a better hole on this top plate so that the screws go in better. You hold it this time. Okay, so be ready to use this drill. One screw. Maybe just go in the middle. Here we're going to go ahead and drill our pilot holes so that we are able to put the screws in smoothly. So we'll go ahead and finish up and put in these final screws. Okay, so now we're going to check the spacing. That small gap at the top, we want to make sure that it's the same on both sides. Check this side, check that side. Lucky for us, they were about the same, and so that's fantastic. Now we want to check the depth here to see how far back the track is going to line up, and we want to carry that same measurement down to the floor so that we can have the floor measurements lined up appropriately. So check and measure twice in order to make sure that we do indeed line the floor plate correctly. Alright, so Krista wanted to go ahead and double check eye measurements. Nothing wrong with that, not offended at all. So I'm glad that she agreed with where it was placed on this floor track. And now she's just going to go ahead and drill in this screw on right through the carpet. No need to do anything fancy or special, just put this screw right through, and then we'll go ahead and finish up with the other remaining screws for the floor plate. Alright, so we're coming down to the end. We're going to go ahead and put the door up now that we have both of the top and bottom tracks in place. So we're going to start with putting the door in at an angle, and we'll be able to snap it right in. How is this supposed to go in here? It needs to go back further. Okay, so after we moved out some of the boxes that were in the closet, we were able to put the door at a steeper angle and able to slide it in place so that it fit with inside the closet. And so, friendly tip, you want to make sure that you put the first door on the back track. Now, unfortunately, the first time around we put it on the front track and then we had to take it off. And so this is the second round of us learning from our lessons and putting the door on the back track. At least the first door goes on the back track. Second door will go on the front track. It's a whole lot easier if you just trust me. Alright, so now we're going to put the second door on, and we're going to put it on the front track. And it was a lot easier putting it on this front track. It just angling it and snapping it down, and we are good to go. Now here we want to push this plastic piece down into the bottom track so that it lines up appropriately. Alright, so final touches, and right now I'm looking at the gap between the door and the door frame. So you can see at the bottom there's a gap, and then up as you move up, that gap becomes really, really small, almost to no gap. And so I want to fix that, and so on the inside there's a screw that I can loosen in order to make sure that that gap is perfectly along the door frame and that there's no gap. So you can see at the bottom there's no longer a gap. And so that is perfect, exactly what I wanted, for it to be perfectly aligned with the door frame. Okay, and our last step involves putting these little plastic rubber things on the door, and that's just to soften any noise from a door slam. Hopefully no one is running around slamming the slider door, but if they do, you have these nice soft cushion pads. And we are done. Now we have a beautiful Mira sliding closet door installed and ready for use.